Okay. Can everybody hear me properly? Greetings. My name is Coin Stamp. Most people call me Coin. Welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Today is a big one, folks. And welcome on in, Axel and Sizzling Seal. Glad to see you both. I've already chatted that up, but I'm gonna say that verbally anyway, because I think it's good practice to do so. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything specific. Just gonna stay a few minutes unless you come back here and there tonight. Very well, Axel. Hope you enjoy and hope that life is treating you well then, because it sounds like you are busy today, and that's totally fine. Let's do our recap. Thank the patrons and the subscribers, and then we will get right on today's agenda, because today's agenda is a big one, and I only have but so much time to complete it. And I suppose I said those in slightly the wrong order. Let's go ahead and thank our subscribers and donators first. Thank you to Devious Grace for gifting Rasby a tier 1 sub, and thank you to Sizzling Seal for the tier 1 sub as well. Please enjoy all the benefits that come along with the Thunder tier subscriber package. Moving back to the aid package, I want to thank Epona Croutons for their Prime Gaming subscription. Please enjoy all of the benefits that come along with the Prime Gaming subscription. And while I don't have any current patrons / donators, I do want to thank people for their one-time donations in the past. Those have been incredibly helpful, more than anyone really has the right to or ever will know. Now, going back, we're going to go ahead and transition screens, because it's a spoiler-free screen as far as I am aware. So let's get things rolling, and we may or may not need to adjust where I'm sitting. Let's see. Ads over? Okay, you didn't miss all that much. I was just thinking, you know, subscribers and patrons and all of that. Recap time. Last time we decided that we would, you know, institute a change of pace and start heading toward the second divine beast. Well, second is subjective, of course, but it's the divine beast Ruta, and that means dealing with the Zora and all the hand-holdiness of Prince Sidon that comes along with it. We actually managed to make it there last stream. We got the Zora chest armor from dealing with the main quest and, you know, visiting the memory about Mipha healing us. And then we were given a directive. That directive is go to Ploymus Mountain for shock arrows, and if we didn't already have enough, clear out the Lionel. Clear out the Lionel, who in turn will then give us the shock arrows we need to defeat and subdue Divine Beast Ruta, and then we can go in and appease that Divine Beast from the inside, probably defeating some sort of blight cannon in the process, which is what happened the last time. Today's agenda is going to be to do exactly that, but also there are a couple of pieces of the Zora armor set we have not collected yet. I would like to collect those first. Those will help us a great deal inside the Divine Beast. One of them has to do with the Lionel. The other one we need to go find Toto Lake. Let's find Toto Lake. There's Toto Lake right there. Toto Lake has one of the pieces. We're going to collect those pieces first. Just reiterating that again. Now, this may mean we need to constantly have the climbing gear on. Not 100% sure. But we're going to find out together. In other news, since I am, attempting to fill the void of space that comes along with content creation, I hope everyone is well in health and spirit today. If you hadn't already answered that question individually, let me just go. I'm going back to statements to pick up on those. Not sure about health, but you think good in spirits. Good. And I hope people do realize that that question is essentially a modified form of how you're doing. I'm just adding slightly more specificity to the question. Because now instead of saying, well, how are you? I don't know. How are you doing? Now it's like, well, I care about your physical and mental / emotional well-being. That's at least somewhat more specific. It's an oddest thing. Makes it more unique? Thank you. I like to think so. Hey, it's you. It is my observation that a person's true colors shine the brightest when they dive freely into the waves. Congratulations on the new Zora armor. It is most impressive indeed. Wearing the Zora armor, even a Hylian like you can climb a waterfall and get back up here in no time at all. That said, if you don't mind me asking, would you please show me your true colors as you dive into the water? You could dive headfirst from here into the water below. It would be true beauty made flesh. Please consider, is this the equivalent of asking for me to impart an eargasm to you, Groove? I think that's what you're asking. You're asking for an eyegasm instead. Alright. Do I need to dive? No, I don't need to dive in head first, but it would be nice. Blinding brightness, radiant beauty. Okay, now climb the waterfall and then meet me back up here. Well, at least this side quest is very simple. It's not the one we need, though. I will say that. It is not the one we need. It's just the one we have. In other news, the Dragon Quest series may or may not have hit a little bit of a road bump. So I recorded like 8 episodes of the Dragon Quest Let's Play. That's Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition, for those that need specifics. I apparently forgot to set the mic to the second audio track, so now my voice is, intermixed with the game audio, which may make it a problem for audio balancing purposes and other things. What's worse is I didn't even realize that is what I'd forgotten until this morning when I went to check the audio track the mic sits on. For those who don't know, and I promise I won't have us staring at Groove the whole time. If you're in OBS, one of the things you can do with advanced audio management is choose which track the mic is on. Now, if you're streaming, this is very important. If you're streaming, everything has to be on the same track, the very first track. That's the only thing that gets picked up with the stream. So if you have a bunch of stream VODs and there was anything on track 2, track 3, track 6, whatever, if it wasn't on the first track, it's not getting picked up. So a habit that most modern streamers or entertainers do today, especially if they need that content chopped up for YouTube videos, is they'll actually record at the same time. Now my computer is not good enough for that. It'll overheat. But thanks to the number of other programs I'm having to run, the streaming computer just can't take that. So it's one of those, it's the side effect of having things like Firebot or Social Stream Ninja or other things all running in the background, not to mention the OBS docs that I use. But it does make audio balancing tricky if everything is all on the same track. You can't siphon out the mic without negatively impacting other audio. So just, if you're streaming, and especially if you're streaming on one computer, just remember, make sure everything's on the same track. And when you go to record, if you want to actually be able to record in 2 tracks and edit 2 tracks, well, you're going to have to make sure that everything is separated beforehand, because there's no way to separate tracks after the fact. Fantastic. Can you feel that? My soul is on fire. It's pulsating with beauty. Okay, you're speaking in poetry, man. I need you to speak in prose, okay? You showed me something truly special. Thank you so much. Now then, come over here real quick. That was amazing. I saw your dive and waterfall climb with my own lucky eyes, and now those very eyes are flooded with tears of joy. Yes, I must thank you somehow. You know what? Considering how free this side quest is, I'll actually take this reward. The plant that bears these seeds grows near deep water. The roots draw nutrients from the water, which boosts your movement speed when the seeds are cooked into a dish. Oh, I feel emotionally ravaged after that. It's not every day I get to see a diving farm as beautiful as yours, you know. I'll be looking forward to your next dive. I really will. Now, it's worth noting that you do not need to do what I'm doing. This is a Let's Play and a walkthrough and a live stream all in one, so I'm just gonna treat it as such. If you guys are looking to play this on your own, you do not need to do what I'm doing. The Zora chess piece will allow you to complete the Divine Beast. You need nothing else. And the obvious shock arrows that were mentioned beforehand, but the main thing is you don't have to do this extra stuff that I'm doing. Coin is a completionist and likes observing a certain theme. If you guys will notice, we had the Snow Quill set when we defeated Va Meadow, when we went inside and defeated the the Wind Blight Ganon. That's what we had. This is the set we walked into. I want to see if we can keep that theme up for all of the rest of the Divine Beasts, because I think that would be cool. Slightly. It's not like a big deal or anything, but it's the subtle things. I try to emphasize the subtle stuff when it comes to content. The things that people are like, oh, that's a nice touch. That's a nice detail to touch up upon, etc., etc. In a way, I sort of liken it to us getting closer to the champions that used to helm and drive these divine beasts by wearing their nation's armor. It also lets me act as their champion. At least that's the headcanon I have anyway. So we need to get up to Toto Lake, and there's no other way to do it besides one step at a time. We could go up the cliff face. In fact, we have to go up the cliff face, so thankfully, we have her volley scale, which is perfect just for scenarios like this. That makes climbing so much easier. We just don't have the time to wait out for all of that, we don't have the time to wait for those cooldowns. How goes everyone else's adventures into, Breath of the Wild? Because I know both Sizzling... I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Epona Croutons. Although Epona Croutons should be on Skyward Sword right now, if I'm not mistaken. And Axel's the one who's mainly Breath of the Wild right now. I hope those adventures are going well. Breath of the Wild is a fun game. I truly think so. Now, in terms of, is it perfect? No, Breath of the Wild is not perfect. What is this? What's this emote? A plan. Oh, okay, it's just an emote. Gotcha. The thing regarding Breath of the Wild is, I truly do think that I would say playing the game about halfway through is probably the best form of enjoyment you're going to get out of it. What I mean by halfway is not don't complete the game. By halfway, that means leaving out the Korok seeds. That means not doing the more tedious things the game asks you to do. Like I'm doing. I'm doing it so that everyone else who doesn't want to can sort of vicariously live through me. My homies hate Korok seeds. Look, I like the concept of them. I wouldn't even mind 900 of them if we had some like nice way of sniffing them out early on. My biggest gripe is checking random environmental details to find 900 of them. Now, there's a separate argument to be made for 900, 1,000, 500, so on and so forth. There's a different argument to be had for that, like the amount of them. But as a concept, I don't mind them. What I mind is the level of tedium. No! Oh my god, I just lost a bunch of distance. Okay, cool. You mean you do like them, but I hope there's a unique item you can find to make it easier to find them. There is. However, it's not very good. It's not very good. Let's just say it's got to do with masks. And it tells you if something is nearby. It doesn't say where it is. There's no highlight. There's no stasis or magnesis check you can do to find something. None of that. Does not exist. So this game does have that detection mechanism. It's just, you want it to have like Shadow of Colossus pointing sword thingy? Yes. If I may, I know, Skyward Sword is a love-or-hate game, but one of the things I really did like about Skyward Sword is the sword dowsing. The Master Sword being a tool that you could use to sort of, you know, light the way to whatever it is you wanted to find. I think that would have been really cool to bring back. And you know, it wouldn't have even been that hard. It wouldn't have been that difficult. Just let us take a picture of the Korok via camera, because it already has this function. Let us take a picture of the Korok, and then let the Sheikah sensor do the rest. There is an in-house mechanic for taking care of that stuff. And the opportunity was just missed for whatever reason. Whether it was, what is it, Aonuma? I think that's his name. I think that's the lead dev or lead creative dev for the Zelda franchise. He's a very famous man. I just don't have his name memorized. I don't know if that's like a creative vision on his part, or if it's really truly missed opportunity. Ooh, when you get or fix the Master Sword, you can find Korok seeds easier. Interesting. Like, there are a number of avenues, and if that is like a mechanic you're actually citing, well then, I guess that just kind of ups the ante on us doing the Korok thing ahead of time. But still, there were a number of avenues. I think I'm gonna have to fall here and actually kind of just wait. It's fine. What's perhaps less fine is the fact that we don't really have a sledgehammer, which I so desperately want. And we would have to give up something in order to fit sledgehammers. We even have easy sledgehammers back at the house in Kakariko, I'm sorry, in Hateno Village. We even have easy sledgehammers. It's what happens when I want to press and move on and I forget, oh, I should go back and grab something. Anyone else ever experienced that in a game? It's like, I know I really need to do this thing. I need to go back and, you know, grab this thing again if it respawns, and you just never do it. I used to deal with that a lot with World of Warcraft. You know, picking up and farming dailies every day for the better or maybe worst part of a decade. Depends on how I choose to look at it on a day-to-day basis.
Rivali's Gale is now ready.
What I'm choosing to do is more or less just try to like climb by jumping, basically. which I think we're gonna be able to do. It's just gonna take us some time to do it, because the rain really does make the climbing process not great. But I think we got it. I think we got it, chat. It just took some elbow grease. But I want to make sure, if anytime I ever ask, you know, my lovely senators and inductees a question, I always answer it myself, or do my best to answer it. That might get annoying, especially for, you know, channel veterans. But I want to make it clear, I don't ask people to do things that I myself wouldn't do. And that includes entertaining what some would possibly say are inane, pointless questions. Like, I wouldn't ask a random Joe out on the street about this. It's... Sorry, I have 2 dachshunds in a lab, and one of the dachshunds has decided that it would be fun to bark at things that I'm not certain of the location of. Barking at random stuff, basically. And I'm trying to determine if I want to quickly step away from the keyboard in order to take care of that. In order to see whatever the hell it is he's barking at. I definitely don't want this. I think I might need to use a bow here. Of course I would drop the bow. Get away from me. Electric keys. They're really bad on a rainy day. They're bad normally, but they're especially bad on rainy days. Because the electricity is super conductive, and it typically causes them... It typically causes whoever's electrocuted to drop, like, weapons in question and everything. Oh, hello. And goodbye. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to step away and see whatever the heck it is my little lovely dachshund is barking about. I am going to run a 30-second ad so that we aren't dealing with pre-roll any more than necessary. And with that, I will be back in just a moment. Sorry about that, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary people. After spending some time and just trying to, like, calm the dog down, it is calm now. Just get in the correct view. Maybe adjust the mic a little. Get the correct controller. You know, all the typical streamer stuff. I promise I'm professional at this. Let us take out the remaining keys so that we don't have to worry about them. And we're going to be navigating Upper Zorana as best as we can. Zorana, excuse me. Zorana, even. Give me more Keese eyeballs, game. This is what I really want, are Keese eyeballs. I hear they go great in soup. Alright, we just navigate this canal here. Try not to die. Maybe it'll be for the best if we use the mighty Lionel bow and just electrocute them. Goodbye. 1 shock arrow, 2 Lizalfos. So many dead Lizalfos. I'm gonna have to repeat this process again for those 2 schmucks over there. I was about to say, what the heck was going on with those materials? They shouldn't have fallen through the floor or anything. Alright, so we are now... We have to be careful, of course, but... Once we get right past over here, there should be a pretty open clearing, and we should start to make out Toto Lake. This is why I like using the Sheikah armor. It's the best. You don't even have to worry about, sometimes even Lizalfos, they're very good at hearing things. The Sheikah armor even takes care of that. It is just so nice to have. The ability to just move normally and still sneak up on enemies. Because Link's sneaking speed is not the greatest. Speaking of, it also lets us save on arrows too, among other things. Alright, so here is Toto Lake. This is one of the spots I mentioned before. And if we check it out with Magnesis, we should eventually spot a treasure chest in here. Oh, are those ducks? Quickly. There we go, got them. So let's use our handy dandy Magnesis to sort of act like a metal detector. Zora headgear made from dragon scales. Increases swimming speed and allows you to spin to attack underwater. Too bad it won't let us dive, though. Now, we have one other thing we have to take care of, and that is we need to get a picture of a red Lionel, which, lucky for us, is pretty easily handled by just going to Ploymus Mountain and grabbing those shock arrows. Don't think I didn't see you, trying to escape, you hot-footed frog. That will not be happening. And now I will show you guys one of the best and quickest ways to get to Ploymus Mountain relatively quickly, and that is by paragliding, because of course it is. I'm kidding. There is probably a faster way and not by, you know, going through Toto Lake to get to Mount Ploymus. It's probably something else entirely. That might be Mount Ploymus right there, now that I'm looking at it. So we're gonna come over to the tippy top of this cliff face and not run out of stamina. And now we glide. This just lets us avoid so much muss and fuss. It's not even funny. And now we just run up the mountain and we should be well on our way to getting those shock arrows. And we've defeated a few Lionels before, but really the best thing that will help you defeat Lionels is mastering the Flurry Rush, as well as being able to take advantage of the sky in order to stun the Lionel from a distance whenever possible. There's something in my eye. I did trim my beard today, so there's a good possibility that me trimming it got a piece of hair in my eye or something. It's not sharp, it's not sitting the right way yet to cause me great grief, but certainly does make life a little more difficult. It feels like there's constant grit and stuff in your eye. Alright, let's see about collecting these shock arrows, shall we? We should be able to collect most of them without too much issue. And we can even use the upper end of the cliff here to sort of fly in for a surprise attack. We can also just ignore the Lionel entirely and just collect the shock arrows for the main quest, but that's not very fun. At least not in my honest purview. It's much more fun to actually kill the Lionel and grab its ingredients and all that fun stuff. What do we have here? Jump at your own risk. I can jump if I want to. And you would jump too if it happened to you. Alright. Enough about random song references no one cares about. Let me switch back over to the feed here. I do want to let people know that there are ways of getting more information should you desire it. If you type in !BOTW MAP, that'll bring up the interactive map that I use for this. There is also an object map, which if you guys type in !BOTW COORD map, that'll bring up the object map, which will give you way more details. I also have information in terms of ingredients and other stuff. If you type in !BOTWING info into the chat, all lowercase, all one word, that should help alleviate a lot of the information drought that I so often experience in other streams. I see you over there, Sir Lionel. Want to be nice and careful about it. Nice. You gotta be careful about collecting shock arrows out in the open. Some of the shock arrows are placed in such a way that you can kind of just tell they're traps. You saw nothing, Sir Lionel. You saw nothing. Damn it. Dang it. Nice. It's fine. I should have played it safer. I tried to cut across and, you know, have, like, mount him in a surprise attack, which is what you can do with a Lionel. You can climb up on back like they're a horse and you can beat them up over the head. You can do this anytime they're stunned. That said, that's in a different spot than it was before. And reload. Reload because the shock arrows, when they're raining, will always basically stun us. Not good. We may need to actually use that elixir that was given to us. We wait again. We just wait. We try not to make a whole bunch of noise. Lionels also have very good hearing, by the way. So they can hear from just miles out. Not miles, but many, 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 many meters out. It does not take long for them to do so. So this is right back at the entrance. We wait for them to go over that way where they can't see us. And we have to be careful. We basically can't even sprint once we get to a certain point. What we can do is eat some sneaky food. And that'll help reduce our, like, yeah, I figured. I'm sorry. That was super close, by the way. It volleyed straight up, and then it came straight back down. I should have, I need to remember to sidestep to his left, not his right. The sneaky meat made no difference. The issue is we sprinted when we should not have. We made too much noise too fast. Okay, he's already behind the rock. We can sprint. And now we don't sprint. And the reason we don't sprint is exactly because he can probably hear us if we do. We need to wait and see where he's going. Gotcha. Oh, we don't have a shield. Let's actually fix that. And maybe give a... we have decent weapons. Let's go for defense boost.
Ollie's Gale is now ready.
Close. Come on. Goodbye. Let's see. Regular Lionel shield has defense 30. Sorry, wooden shield. It's lights out for you. And then we have the plain Lionel bow, right? Yeah, the plain one is just 10 times 3. So let's not pick up the Lionel bow. Save right now. I hope that picture that we've collected is sufficient. Like, really, truly sufficient, because otherwise there are going to be problems. See, how many shock arrows are we actually looking at? 46? Yeah, we have plenty. We have way over the amount that even the game requests that you have, which is like 20. Personally, you need 4. I think you need 4 and a 3-shot bow, but I could be, or maybe it's like 5 and a 3-shot bow, but I could be mistaken. All right. We've got the picture off Ploymus Mountain. Let's go to Nez Yoma Shrine and see if we can't find the quest giver that the last Zora armor piece is associated with. Because I would love to have the pants. The pants are the last thing missing. Look, Fashion Souls, everybody. It's cosplaying. It's in-game cosplaying. And everyone loves a good cosplay. Everyone loves a good costume. You just gotta actually find the person that is responsible for it. I think his name starts with a C. There's Leto. Leto. Oh, if it isn't the Hylian.
Oh.
You listen to what King Dorfon had to say. Yes, so that is the cause of our suffering in Zora's domain. It is all because of that beast, Ruta. That's why my senior apprentice, Frank and I are repairing the domain. However, our materials are a bit depleted.
Yeah.
Yes, repairs require a large number of luminous stones. You can find plenty of them around Upland Zorana. Have you by chance already stumbled across some luminous stones during your travels? For instance, if you have 10 of them, that would be a big help. I believe I probably sold them. No, I have exactly 10. Here, why do you need luminous stones, though? And also, who's Frank? Luminous stones were part of the raw materials used to build Zora's domain. In the past, luminous stones were often mined from Upland Zorana, which is why Zora's domain was built here. That's the story, anyway. Frank? Frank and I are Master Dento's faithful apprentices. Frank and I are always striving to be better in our workshop. Striving to be better... Oof and a half. Frank and I are always striving to better ourselves in the workshop. Master always tells us repairing the domain is part of your training. So that's what we're doing now. Here are the stones. All 10 of them exactly. Thank you. Thank you? Thank you. You're really giving me 10 luminous stones. In that case, please excuse me while I count them. And a 1. And a 2. And a 3. Crunch. That's how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll, everybody. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh my, you really brought all 10. You didn't have to count them all in real time, though, Leto. Thank you. Yes, I will happily take those luminous stones from you. Oh, that's right. I must reward you with a diamond. A diamond, my senators and inductees. The most precious gem one can find in Hyrule. Its signature sparkle has charmed Hyruleans for generations. As such, it has sold for a very high price since ancient times. And what's more, I'll give you 1 extra as a bonus. 2 diamonds for the price of 1. You're a lifesaver, truly. If you ever find yourself in possession of 10 luminous stones in the future, I hope you will bring them to me. But if that happens, know that I'll only be able to give you 1 diamond for them. I would be honored if you would accept it when the time comes. This helps us make the 3-shot bow that the Ruta craftsman offered. So we got 2 diamonds, everybody. Diamonds are everybody's best friend. They can go in saws to help with cutting. They can go in tools and scalpels for really fine cutting of tissue. Usually people use obsidian if they really need to do that, though. What else? It's worn in jewelry. You can probably make linings with... you can probably make dental replacements using diamond. I don't recommend it. Because that, you know, if you ever French kiss your lover, you're going to chop off the tongue if you ever do it wrong, but... Hi! Yes, Marrow, I know. Welcome. There's Clef. That's not the correct guy. What do you want? A trident? The light scale trident and the ceremonial trident. Never mind. No, I wasn't trying to talk to you.
You.
Hey there, the water feels nice, doesn't it? If you're free, would you like to chat? I'm sorry. I'm apparently chatting with Dento's chest right now. I feel like I'm chatting to NPC chests a lot more often than I should be. Yes, thank you, but I don't really need that. Need to find the correct NPC, and that takes some time. That's Trello. I know it's a fellow with a C in the name. That's Torfo. I think it's pretty close to what I'm looking at. That's Giotto. There's the sun guy. Capson, the priest. Laughlet. Oh, I'm sorry, Laughlet. I didn't mean to
Hi.
make you stumble. Hello. Sorry, but I'm on my way somewhere. At least I hope I am.
Yeah.
Oh. Are you serious?
Hi.
Oh, I just skipped a whole bunch of dialogue. I'm so sorry. I apparently had to talk to her 3 times. There's a red-maned monster called a Lionel that lives on Ploymus Mountain. I really need a picture of a Lionel. It could be a picture of any red-maned Lionel, not just the one on the mountain. So what do you say? Can you get me a picture of a Lionel? Sure can. I'm glad that was settled so quickly. See, there's this fool in the domain who goads people to jumping off of Shatterback Point on Ploymus Mountain. It's an incredibly dangerous jump, and this guy pressures people into jumping off by questioning their courage. He's a real bottom feeder. If this keeps up, someone is surely going to wind up horribly injured. I need a picture of a Lionel to show everyone how scary they are. That way maybe people will stop going up there. Does that answer your question? I'll leave the details to you. Just bring me a picture of a Lionel so I can describe them in terrible detail. Thank you. Oh, Link. How's that Lionel mission coming along? I have your picture. Oh wow, please show me. My apologies. That sound was not very dignified, was it? Does it need to be dignified? They're scary. They have weapons with many blades on them. But pardon me, I'm all better now. That Lionel, how terrifying. One look at this and I doubt anyone would get any reckless ideas about visiting Ploymus Mountain. It is his backside, though. Thank you. I'll tell the children of the domain about this. Maybe that will scare them away from the mountains. Oh, right. Now for your reward. Da 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 da! These greaves have been passed down among the Zora for generations. It's been said that they're crafted using dragon scales, equip them to swim faster. These Zora greaves were once made by skilled craftsmen by order of an ancient Zora king. Now they're fairly common. As you may know, East Reservoir Lake was created in a collaboration between Hylians and the Zora. After East Reservoir Lake was finished, we made Zora greaves as a token of friendship for Hylians who came to visit. But over time, the number of Hylians visiting the domain dwindled, and my father had to close his armor shop. These Zora greaves here were the last pair left in the stock room when he closed up shop. Wearing these, even a Hylian can swim as well as a Zora. That said, these would be wasted on me. They are only useful for a Hylian like you. Please take good care of them. Alright, so what we need to do now is sort of prepare ourselves before going off to deal with the Divine Beast, because this was sort of the last thing holding us back. I don't want to sit by the fire. We need to sort out we need regular food, which now might be a good time to start looking at things to cook. Okay, let's see. We don't have the ability to make that soup. Cream of mushroom. Let's see. Cream of mushroom is mushroom, vegetable, herb, flour, rock salt, fresh milk. We only have a limited amount of that, so let's not make any thing requiring fresh milk quite yet. Carrots and pumpkins? Let's see how many different ingredients we need. Rice, butter. Where's the goat butter? I know it's here somewhere. And some salt, which we have plenty of. Tough vegetable risotto. You got it. What next? Let's see, mushroom risotto? Any 2 mushrooms ought to do. We might want some cold resistance in there somewhere. We don't have any special spices, so we're not making any curry or pilaf. We have plenty of eggs. Well, I think I know what we're making, chat. We're gonna be making tons of omelet. Only 1 egg required for a 5-heart dish. We're gonna make a couple of these, because I think having the extra hearts will be nice. Oh, did that just critically succeed? Never mind. Yeah, I heard a little chime. That made me think that I probably, that made me think of something, but I guess not. Let's see, butter, salt, egg, and 2 mushrooms or vegetables, herbs, flowers. Maybe some movement speed might be nice. Let's see, what else? Herb, flour. The important thing is we can't use any mushrooms, which are kind of the things we have the most of. And some salt ought to do real nicely. Hasty salt grilled greens. Nice high-level movement speed boost. You want these kinds of recipes because they allow for the ones that where you only need the boosting thing, the attribute boosting thing, and 1 or 2 other ingredients. You really want that. Instead of things like the omelets, which are nice. They're nice to look at, but they're mostly there to restore health and give like a low-level boost. Let's see. Salt grilled mushrooms. Do I want to deplete my stock of zap shrooms that easily, though? Let's instead do it like this. And then finally, I think we can... Fried greens... Fried wild greens. Okay, I see what needs to happen. Nice. Well, we definitely wanted that one for some bonus hearts. Let's make 1 more of those, actually. And then we'll continue discovering some recipes. Okay, so now returning back to recipe discovery, we have hearty blue shell snails. We need 1 of those. We need some Tabanthan wheat, which we bought not that long ago. Goat butter. And some fresh milk. Right? Yeah, so if we have all of those, we can actually put in an extra snail. Hearty clam chowder. There is one dish out of here I want to make and hold on to later, and that would be the seafood paella, which it would be, let's see, can we use any porgies instead for that? Yeah, I believe we can. We're gonna hold on to one of those. What else for the paella? Rice, salt, and goat butter. Stop holding. Hold. And one bit of rice. Okay, and then we're going to make... we want something real mild instead. No, I don't want to eat that. You can eat raw fish. You can eat that raw fish in real life, but it needs to be prepared, you know, free of parasites and all that fun stuff, or you're gonna have a really bad time. Where's this thing I'm finding here? Ah, one of these. Peppered fish. Spicy pepper seafood. Mm-hmm. And that mostly helps us out with the... That mostly helps us out when it comes to things like defenses or offense. We've got plenty of elixirs. We've got some food. Let's just sort this. So now we've got a couple of regular food items, which we can eat practically any time, and then we've got everything else. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, chat. My lovely senators and inductees. We are... I believe I can turn on the whisper dock for this portion of it. We're gonna take our break. We're gonna take the first break. It's the first one we've taken all stream. I wanted to do some prep work before continuing onward. I do want to thank everyone for being here so much. Usually I try to do the thank yous in the first hour of the stream. Thank you guys so much. Your company means the world to me. I am going to go ahead and chill the Discord as well. We're a really small community, but it is something I'm looking to cultivate and change day by day. If you're interested in joining a, you know, tightly knit community, please consider joining the Discord. Your presence really would mean the world to me. I can't promise it's the most active Discord, but if you like nice, small, quiet spaces, you'll really enjoy it. If you guys like this content and hadn't considered doing so already, please like the stream, you know, subscribe to the channel, follow the channel on Twitch, make sure the notification bells are turned on, share it with your friends, share these VODs with your friends, and maybe even, you know, comment on the VODs. All of that stuff would help out the channels tremendously. Tremendously? I think I just said the words tremendous and immensely together. That's not right. Tremendously. It would help out a great deal. Please consider doing that. We're going to go ahead and take our 3-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to start dealing with the Divine Beast, ladies and gentlemen. See you guys after the break. Okay, everybody, welcome on back. Hopefully we all got something we wanted out of the commercial break, whether it be to get up and grab a snack or get a drink or whatever have you. Really appreciate everybody, you know, sticking around with me. 3-minute ads are hard to stomach, but I promise it's all worth it. I promise it'll all be worth it. There are only 2 times that you guys will ever have to worry about ads from me. The 1-hour break, and, you know, if I have to get up and go somewhere, I'll run a 30-second ad. I might even run a 1.5-minute ad if I expect to be gone a while, but, you know, that's provided I know there's like an emergency and it's not super time sensitive. Anyway, too much to talk about on that point. Just know I only ever play ads manually. I do not automate them at all. If I knew of a way to automate them that wasn't disruptive to the viewer experience, I would do it. But the Twitch ad auto planner is very disruptive to the viewing experience. So I will not be, I wonder, I'm curious about this. Can we, okay, do we actually just eat this? We eat it straight up. That's kind of cool, I guess. Because it's not considered, food you have to cook. Strange, it's still meat. Whatever. I'm sure it's cured or whatever. Let us stop this rain. I love rain as much as the next guy, but we gotta get the Zora out of this predicament. We've spent entirely too long not getting them out of it. Speaking of, I did say we would wear that armor. Let's do it. You were informed how to appease the divine beast, were you not? Sidon can be found at East Reservoir Lake. I ask that you meet up with him and do all you can to calm the divine beast. By the way, did you ever gain your memories of my daughter, Mifa? I remember. You remember? That is wonderful. I was so proud when Mifa was chosen as our champion, but I was also quite distressed about it. When Calamity Ganon took control of the divine beast Ruta, it all happened so fast. I cannot help but feel that I should have tried harder to keep Mifa from harm. I should not have let her go. I'm so sorry. No, please do not apologize. It is not your fault. All of this is the despicable work of Calamity Ganon. Calamity Ganon took control of the poor divine beasts and trapped the champions inside of them. Since then, not a single one of them has returned. It pains me to think what must have happened. All I can do is hope and pray, though I am well aware that the odds of that anyone could have survived something like that. Yeah, I hate to say it, but if Rivali was a spirit, well, good chance that Mifa will also be a spirit. Do we have a free space? We have a couple of free spaces. Okay, one last thing we're gonna do before we tackle this is grab a freaking sledgehammer. I am sick and tired of not having one. Only gonna grab one though. Just one. I want to have room for weapons that we find. And speaking of, I don't believe we have any spirit orbs right now. No, we don't. Good. We now clatter like a kitchen sink, but I do genuinely like the Zora armor colors and everything. Okay, grab the sledgehammer. Do I want to grab a second one? No, I'm pretty determined not to do that. Do we want to diet my senators and inductees? I think we can diet. Well, I mean, we can diet. The question is just what color. I know the color I want to dye it. I know what a lot of other people would probably dye this. And I want to be careful. Red is my favorite color, but red is not my intended dye color for this. If you're looking to add some color to your wardrobe, you found the right place. Hue do you do? These rainy days remind me of the most romantic date I ever went on. There we were, standing in the soaking rain, and I got down on one knee to propose. Couldn't have timed it better. Hey there, Bear Type. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. How are you in health and spirit? And hope you enjoy your stay. I'm doing okay. We're doing the last few tasks before engaging the divine beast Ruta, and thus beginning the journey to complete that second dungeon. Is this a first play? No, it is a revisit. Are you familiar with the Breath of the Wild franchise, Bear Type? Or are you also new to it out of curiosity? Here we go for 20 rupees. Okay, that was a really strange story. I just did the bird one, really liked it. Gotcha. Yeah, we completed Va Meadow not that long ago ourselves. Va Meadow is nice. The best beast power so far? Absolutely. Rivali's Gale has been super beneficial for getting all the Korok seeds and everything. Let's dye these clothes. Yes, I want to dye because we're in the original colors already. How are you enjoying Breath of the Wild, Bear Type? Since it seems like you've been playing it rather recently. All right, let's choose a color because we've got the clothes we want. This color right here. Now the question is, what is actually going to be permitted to give us that nice, rich, deep color? Choo-choo jelly, choo-choo jelly, light blue. Sure. You're really enjoying it? I'm playing it on the Wii U. You don't have it on the Switch? That's fair. Most of the other people that are making content that happen to be among my Twitch or YouTube channels right now, they play it on the Wii U. That's what they can afford, and that's totally valid. I happen to have my copy of it on the Switch. Do I have the DLC? I do have the DLC. Do you? Yes, I do have DLC 1 and 2. I bought this game with the Game Pass, the accompanying DLC pass, excuse me. Yes, I do have both. I do intend on completing both. I intend on doing everything before we fight Ganon. Because Ganon should kind of be the last remaining footnote on our journey before we, close the book on Breath of the Wild. We haven't seen this before, we've seen this one other time. I'm gonna show this scene once more, though. In terms of the DLC, what a wonderful tone that is. I might try it out on one of my outfits. I would like to stream your play, but the Wii U is not in your room, sad face. It's downright miraculous what a difference a new set of duds make. You're looking very chic. Do you find this palatable? If you'd like to do a re-dye, just let me know. Oh no. Yes, sadness. I know. Do you stream as well, Bear Type? I mean, that sentence would suggest that you do. I'm just formally asking the question. And if so, are you mainly Twitch, YouTube, Trovo? Like what platforms? I like your triangle face cam. Thank you. I worked really hard on coming up with that. All of any of the UI design elements that aren't strictly part of the game, I use OBS shaders to accomplish those. The OBS shader extensions, which I believe a YouTuber by the name of Nutty has like shilled over and over, have been phenomenal, absolutely fantastic. If there's anyone looking to upgrade their streamer overlay game, the OBS shaders is fantastic. You do stream, you beat Kirby Forgotten Land a week ago? Awesome. YouTube, Twitch, both, something else? Which platform do you stream on, Bear Type? Now that we have our clothes dyed the color I want them, YouTube only. I'm failing to parse the rest of that sentence. Okay. It looks, I feel like two sentences have been merged here somewhere. YouTube only, huh? How are you finding the discoverability? Would you say your YouTube streams are relatively successable? Sorry, both looks better for the views. No problem. Thank you for cleaning that up. I wasn't gonna ask that. I was just gonna try to interpret the sentence, or else, reply to the parts I thought made sense to me. Thank you. Yeah, how are you finding the YouTube algorithm? I'm looking at two different algorithms, so it's kind of hard for me to say, oh, well, this one's successful, but that other one isn't successful. I'm always curious about other fellow content creators and how they find that experience. I'll take this moment to, as an aside, say, this space, this channel is content creator friendly. Please feel free to mention any and or all of your channels. We're all trying to compete in the same game together. Why compete when we can collaborate, right? So just maybe be subtle about it first, or maybe ask me. That's really about my only gripe. I don't want someone who immediately comes in here and just starts chilling. I like having a rapport, a relationship. That's really about my only request. I'm doing the Stormwind thing. Let me not do the Stormwind shuffle and actually get to where I'm supposed to be going. You started 1 to 2 months ago, so not really. Fair. But you want to do a game challenge. Can be fun. Oh, game challenge. Are we talking like speed run or damageless, deathless, so on? One of those? Or something a bit more off the wall, out of curiosity. I think we are... Yes, we're headed the correct direction. I have done game challenges before. I used to be an off-again... I mean, I still am. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole thing about being on-again, off-again, right? I am an on-again, off-again, Elden Ring Reforged challenge runner, or Soulsborne challenge runner. So I know what game challenges are like. That is the highest octane content I think that ever could be out there. Yeah, thanks. Get out of my sight, Sir Boar. You've exacted your vengeance. Now leave me be. Deathless, damageless on it. Damageless on it is too hard for you. Gotcha. I mean, Deathless is the simplest, game challenge run out there is. It's the one that obeys the game mechanics most strictly, so, you're not having to contort or go out of your way to do anything. Hitless is that nice middle ground, where it's you need to be creative with the order in which you're doing things in the game, but you can still more or less play by the game's given mechanics. Challenge running's quite fun. Those are different muscles for streaming or content creation in general, compared to just playing a game nominally like I'm doing right now. You really kind of have to sort of partition your focus. if it will be pretty easy, I will do dark. I will do the dark or darker side. Are we I think there's a game. There might be a game I'm thinking of. Dark or darker. I'm sorry. Would you mind elaborating a little bit more on that statement? Just so I'm not, mixing up how I'm parsing it and everything. And in the meantime, while you're doing that, we're going to go ahead and watch this cutscene, and I'll have all the time in the world to interpret that. Hello, Sidon. The late game kingdoms, the harder challenges of the game? Gotcha. Okay. Late game kingdoms. Okay, I'm making the most sense of that. Thank you for elaborating further. Glad to see you're ready to go, Link. There's that politician's smile again. Are you ready for this? Do you have your Zora armor and enough shock arrows? I do. I even have the complete set side on, which I didn't have last time. Wonderful. You never cease to amaze, Link. Now then, let us go and appease that divine beast as one. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put this command out there. I don't have one for YouTube yet. I still gotta set that up with streamer.bot and everything, but I'm gonna put it out on the Twitch side. For YouTube and Twitch, we are multi-streaming, so you guys can see both chats at the same time. Say hi if you want to. I don't recommend carrying a cross-platform conversation, but you at least have that option. Let's go ahead and get that command spat out, though. So, the Divine Beast, and, the subsequent Blight Ganon are going to be times where I'm less focused on chat. If someone is a fresh entry, or, on Twitch, there's the first time message thing, I'll acknowledge that very quickly, but then after that, I go back to focusing on the game, because I am a terrible multitasker. I cannot, under most circumstances, fight some boss. You wrote that on Twitch? I did. I put it in a command and the bot typed that. I have my bot show up as my own name. I know, weird choice on my part. I just don't have a bot account I can currently siphon the Firebot toward, but that is something I want to fix this year. But please know that I normally am not typing in chat, so usually the bot can just... It's a design decision thing, without getting too lost in the weeds over it. But I think enough people have become confused or have asked the question of who is that typing exactly, that I probably should change that. So let me write that down before continuing. I'm not as spry as I used to be, so writing things down has been very helpful. Keeps me from losing the ideas that I have. All right, let's get cracking, my senators and inductees. Gaze now upon the divine beast's back. Oh, I thought we were just going on and getting going. Do you see those glowing pink orbs? You will need to shoot each of them with a shock arrow. With your Zora armor, you now have the ability to ascend waterfalls. So I shall take you right up to the side of the Divine Beast, and from there you can swim up and take aim. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Now hurry up and get on my back. I'm ready. Good answer. Let's get going. I'm unstoppable in the water. Ruta is responding to our presence. I'll move away and wait for an opening before we approach. I'll keep going at full speed. It's up to you to ward off Ruta's attacks. Are you ready? Divine Beast Ruta will undoubtedly use its ancient mysterious powers against us. That includes hurling giant ice blocks that we'll need to watch out for. And this is pretty much the whole fight, ladies and gentlemen. We break the ice blocks, we swim up the waterfall. And then we want to make sure we're using the mighty Lionel bow with shock arrows. Oh, we do have to just shoot them one at a time, huh? Oh, now they hurt more. Cool. If I could pop it directly, I would, but...
Shock arrows ready? Go. You did it.
Okay, we could go faster. I had to, like, wait. And the rain has stopped. Link, look. The water spouting from Ruta has, slowed down. Ruta's floating higher now. You wanted to venture inside it, right? Yay, first phase done, yeah. I'll bring you closer, we're counting on you, hero. Do good work in there. It only took us 90 minutes to do this, and it barely took us 10 minutes, if that, to actually deal with the Divine Beast. The rest of this
Well,
was...
Link, here we are. Looks like
hang on.
this is where the real work starts. Best of luck. Nice job cutting off the water flow from this Divine Beast. Show the enemy no fear. I'll see you back at Zora's domain. Farewell. Finish the job.
Very cool. Very cool. I wanted to make I always try to toggle the webcam off for those cutscenes, though, because I know everybody wants to see them, or, you know, just wants to take time to absorb, you know, all the visuals they're getting. It's a real tough balance. Can you guys believe that, like, the past hour-ish? Not, well, okay. The first hour was pretty much all getting set up for this. I kinda can't. I thought it was gonna take much longer. Yes, I am here, Mifa. You have
I
my...
must say that I am so happy to see that this day has finally arrived.
I am here for you, my sweet. Tell me what I need to do.
Now, Ruta can be freed of Ganon's control. You'll need a map to prevent you from getting lost. guidance stone there contains the information that you will need.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary people. Welcome to Divine Beast Ruta. Just like with Va Meadow, we will be trying to get all the treasure chests that are in here. Just like Va Meadow. Pretty much all the Divine Beasts are like this. We only get one crack at this. If we do not get all the chests in here, we might as well just kiss our 100% playthrough goodbye. Because we would have to do it all over again. Even if we sped ran this in a new game or something, that's time I don't want to spend, and that's time you guys don't want to spend either. Guaranteed. Even if people do like my streams, I don't think we would want to watch the same thing ad nauseum. That's just silly. I could go ahead and whip out the Traveler's Bow. Unlike last time, the last Divine Beast we had a Phrenic Bow. Here we don't have that luxury, I'm afraid. Okay, level 1 Guardian Scout. Let's kind of take our bearings here. Let's go into the Divine Beast. Let's skirt around its edges and see what it has in store for us. Every Divine Beast has a gimmick. I can say this now that we've dealt with Va Meadow. They all have a gimmick. And all of them have to do with the respective, either the respective element or some part of physics that hasn't really ever been quite explored in Breath of the Wild. A small streamer I like, that you like, did the first Tears of the Kingdom 100% deathless. That's really quite cool. And I'm sure that couldn't have been easy either. Now he's doing the same for Breath of the Wild. Since you happen to be in the know, or at least watching someone in the know, do you know what the general rules around Mipha's Grace are? You know, the champion power that resurrects. Is that still counted as a technical death? Or no, not really? Well, we can't go very far outside, which is what I thought would be the case. So now we're going to go in and take care of Bee's Nest. Come on, Sir Guardian. That was close. One shot, one kill. Other gimmicks with Divine Beasts include a shared presence of malice, like piles just everywhere, and we always need to pop the malice eyeballs to clear them out. We often can't solve puzzles unless we do. I'm not sure. He did it with 4 used fairies, though? Ah, okay. So, like, I guess the idea then would be that... what's Mipha? Let me spell it. There we go. I've put that response into chat. Mipha is the name of the Zora champion that used to pilot this Divine Beast. That's her name. And Mipha's Grace is the champion power. This is what I know from... I'm using my experience from revisiting this game to sort of treat this like a live Let's Play walkthrough, if you will. There will be some portions of it that are a truly, totally first-time experience, but for the most part, I sort of know how the game is supposed to go, like what we're supposed to do, and it's all the tiny little things that I may not 100% remember how to do. We're gonna go ahead and grab this chest out of the water. Plonk! It would be nice if the hair got out of my face. I'm due for a haircut. I really need to get one pretty soon. We're gonna be making good use of Cryonis in here, I expect. All right, that didn't take too long. Mipha's Grace is an auto-resurrect. If you would die, you return back to life with full hearts instead. It's the super big version of a fairy. It's the same kind of effect. Yep, here's the gimmick, ladies and gentlemen. We tilt this thing's trunk, which will in turn basically adjust the water level in this place.
Good. You've obtained the map of the Divine Beast. You will see several glowing points on your map which represent the terminals that control Ruta. Take Ruta back by activating all of the terminals. Be careful.
These divine beasts are essentially what equates to a dungeon. These are the new versions of dungeons, assuming that you either don't consider Tears of the Kingdom canonical or what have you, which I want to say Tears of the Kingdom kind of like shifted the clock back a little bit. I haven't played, but from what I understand, the whole like fusion mechanic, well, along with the Zonai devices, kind of constitutes making any sort of thing you could ever wish for. And in that instance, you basically make your own power-up items, so to speak. And you complete puzzles and challenges and dungeons that way. Let's see. Let's start by turning this winch or gear. You were gone for a moment. Sorry, I don't know what is Mipha. Ah, sorry. No big deal, bear type. Mipha is the name of the Zora champion who used to pilot the divine beast Ruta, and Mipha's Grace is the champion power you get from her. It'll become more apparent as we complete this divine beast, and it'll make sense. Promise.
There are 4 terminals remaining. Don't give up.
I don't intend to, Mipha. Mipha happens to be my favorite character in Breath of the Wild, by the way. I just like her gentle, serene nature. Very calming. Is this the central terminal? I believe it is. Yeah, we're not even remotely done with this place yet. I want to say, unlike Meadow, Ruta is a somewhat more linear experience. There's not too much doubling back that happens. Whereas with, Meadow, you're literally going from one wing of the bird to the other wing of the bird, and you're just constantly going back and forth from one side to the other. I touched the malice, and I'm not surprised I paid a price for that. Is there any malice nearby? I mean, there's the malice spires, so there's got to be an eyeball somewhere. Let's see if we can't find it. Guess not. Come on, Sir Guardian. Careful. Oh, and the extra Guardian Swords will be really very useful. And so much for that linear experience, huh? Oh boy, let's see if Coin remembers how to do everything. Because this was one of the Divine Beasts I had completed in my past playthrough on Twitch before I started streaming more seriously on YouTube. Let's see, will putting a block of ice down stop anything? Actually, that doesn't work. Can freeze that though. Cool. Oh, you know what? You know what? The last time I did this was my first dungeon. This time we have Rivali's Gale, which will let us kind of like skip sections of the dungeon, which I think is really quite cool. Any sort of treasure chests? Yeah, there is one. It's, and I should say, the Divine Beast Va Ruta typically tends to be everyone's first Divine Beast. Like, if we were to, we can't actually leave the area or anything, but if we were to open up a map of Hyrule as it pertains to Breath of the Wild, and you look at the travel path that you have to take, the game kind of naturally nudges you toward completing Va Ruta first. Which I think is interesting game design, because it's like, oh, yeah, because it's next to Kakariko Village. It is. Relatively speaking. You do have to go north 2 regions, but I get the overall sentiment. It is pretty close. And then, you know, the next inclination would be to kind of like follow the map either clockwise or counterclockwise. Not too many people would do what I did, which would be to speed run up to Va Meadow, get it first, and then come back here. Not too many people I know do that. Your second was the Death Mountain. Oh, that would be Va Rudania, and then Va Meadow. It's fine. You don't need to know names. That's kind of my job as the content creator and streamer. And especially if I'm going to be doing a Let's Play walkthrough type thing, it is sort of my job to know the names that people aren't necessarily the most familiar with. No big deal. No worries. He says, the streamer says, as he realizes that he is simultaneously bad with real people names. So, what does that say about me, Well, we've stopped this wheel. We're gonna leave this ice block alone while we figure out the rest of this space. Grabbing a drink of water there. Let's see how the game naturally wants us to go. Up this way? Yeah, I remember there being a Malice Eyeball somewhere nearby. Let's just pop those. And I think I remember Va Meadow starting out kind of like this, where things were simple at first, and then they became more complicated. All right, let's see. Okay, so we can stop that mechanism. Actually, I played it about 3 years ago. Just got it from a friend for 2 weeks. You tried to do the desert one first. Bad idea. It's the hardest. That would be Von Naburus. Naburus, excuse me, that's got 2 O's. And Thunderblight Ganon. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Got lost, had to do a lot of stuff. There is a lot of stuff typically involved into getting access to Va Naburus. Not recommended. But I think you said previously, if I go back and scroll through the chat here, you just did the bird one. So this is the current playthrough you're currently doing. You've decided to deal with the bird first. Really smart. Just saying, if I'm saying English weird, no big deal. No big deal. I have plenty of people for whom English is not a first language. You're speaking just fine. I have people from all over the place. Romania, Italy, France, the Philippines. I get lots of different people that come by on a weekly basis. That's why I do my best to sort of interpret what you're saying and not just go, oh, okay, or kind of ignore things I don't understand. I try to read your sentence as it would have been typed if English were your first language. And I try to, parse the difference. I guess here's an interesting question, and I guess this is directed to anybody on all the platforms I'm streaming on right now. How much do you stream? Like every week, every day? I'm glad you asked, Bear Type. I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And generally I start at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And sometimes I stream on weekends. For you, Bear Type, if you actually check the description of the video, there should be either a Linktree link or a streaming calendar. I hope I've got just the calendar directly. It'll be a Google link. If you click on that, that pretty much gives you my in-depth schedule for when I stream each week. You see it? Cool. I usually like to point people there because the calendar just does a much better job at explaining it than I ever could. I can be quite the chatterbox. I'm pretty wordy, and the calendar just cuts all that out with raw facts and information. But generally, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I usually stream at the same time on weekends about half the time. Sometimes on weekends I'm out with friends, sometimes I'm not. But the calendar, I update that calendar pretty religiously. I try to recommend it to everybody. I work really hard on it. I've got it down to a science. I only really ever have to update changes in it rather than, fill it out each month. Google Calendar is just such a nice feature. At least in my honest opinion. Okay, let's try to solve this puzzle, and then I've got more shilling I've got to do. And then luckily it'll be the last shilling we ever have to do for the remainder of the stream. Now I want to say we need to change the trunk. I forget if it's 45 degrees or 90. I think it has to be 90. What do you think about the Switch 2? I've had a couple people ask me that. Honestly, it just seems like the Switch with a new coat of paint. I gotta say, it just seems like the Switch with a new coat of paint. I know that's not the most novel opinion ever, but I mean, come on. The Switch 2 release trailer was quite literally just... Oh, I should have stopped that while I had the chance. The Switch 2 release trailer was just going over the external Switch specs while, telling it, oh, it's better in black. It's better with a black coat of paint and the colors on the inside. If I actually did a real review, or I actually reviewed the specs, I'm sure I would be impressed. This kind of feels like the Wii U all over again, where the Wii U wasn't marketed very well, And I sort of feel like the... Stop that right there. Yeah, I could opine on it for hours, but I do not feel like I was very impressed. Yeah, I get what you say. Yeah, I don't know if you'll get it. You need to wait to see if it'll be the Wii. Exactly. The words left your mouth as crisp and succinctly as they left my own. It's not marketed well. I'll have to see what some of the new games coming out for it will be, because if it's kind of similar to like initial Wii U prototypes, that's not very interesting in terms of a buy or anything. Careful. Okay. Hot damn, I was looking to try to avoid that. Oh well. Well, thankfully we do have a tool to get us out of this mess. Or rather, the tool would have gotten us out of that mess if I hadn't been interrupted at the last possible second. Who knows? We need to wait for the next console, so it'll be good like the Switch. Meh. I'm gonna hold some faith that it's just like bad marketing, right? Because the Wii U, for as badly marketed as it was, I think it had some fantastic games on it. One of those would be Breath of the Wild. It was at the very late end of the console's lifespan. It, of course, is a laggy mess. I happen to have had a friend at one point that had it on Wii U, that had the game on Wii U, and it ran like a pixel game at points. But it was good to look at and watch. You meant game ports like the Switch? Yeah. The porting thing is something else entirely. The big thing I'm sort of keeping my eye on right now is I'm a Metroid Prime enthusiast. I love the Prime series. And so I'm waiting to see, is Metroid Prime 4 going to be on Switch 2? Is it going to be a Switch 2 exclusive? Or is it going to be, available on the Switch as well? Yeah, it's really laggy. If you press home button, it takes like 30 seconds to a minute to load back. Oof. Yikes. Right there. Wait, come on. Don't seal it up. Oh, okay, too late. That's one way of solving that puzzle. You've never tried the Metroid games and you would like to? Oh. Now, I can't speak for 2D. I mean, I kind of can.
There are 3 terminals remaining. You can do it.
I don't know what your familiarity with them is, but are you familiar with a specific game in this series called Super Metroid? It's an old retro game. I think its original debut is on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the SNES. There are lots of streamers that speedrun both the regular, like, Super Metroid and the randomizer version of it. What to start? You could play it. You have the SNES Mini. Super Metroid would be a relatively decent entry in the Metroid series. It's a cult classic of the game. Now, if you're talking about Metroid Prime specifically, because I sort of split those up into 2 separate entries in the franchise, 2D Metroid, Super's a pretty good choice. 3D Metroid, I think most people would probably agree in saying that Metroid Prime 2 Echoes is a decent entry in the series to start with. Let me type that out so that I'm not, like, flooding people with extra information here. No problem. More than happy to type that stuff out. I think me doing that probably really sort of elucidated everyone's perspective on what I was talking about. What do you think about the 3DS one? There are a couple. Oh wait, there aren't a couple. Sorry. That's technically in the 2.5D sphere. Go ahead and get rid of this. I know where it is to get later if I really need it. You're talking about Samus Returns, right? That one's pretty good too. Is it perfect? No. But really, outside of everyone's nostalgia bias towards Super Metroid, if you look at the innovations in Metroid Samus Returns, they're really not bad. The parry system is pretty decent, and the puzzles are not too obtuse, but they do offer some challenge. The main thing that would probably give people some pause would be the amiibos, the amiibo inserts, or the final boss. That can give people some pause for playing it. Good to start with? I'd say so. If it's the one you have access to, then it's a good one to start with. But then afterwards, if you're looking to cultivate that experience further, definitely try Super Metroid, definitely try Metroid Fusion or Metroid Dread, whatever you can get your hands on. And then for the 3D series, because those play entirely different, I really do recommend Metroid Prime 2 Echoes or the Metroid Prime Remaster. Both of those are really good as well. I think there are a couple others in the series, one of which, how long is it? Don't know off the top of my head. Let me find my phone. I think it might be in my bedroom, actually. I want to say it's got somewhere between 8 and 16 play hours. Something like that. It's not that long if you it's not that long if you just do the any percent. It's a bit longer if you fully complete it. I have to make sure I'm separating those two things. It's quite possible I'm also misciting the number of hours, so please definitely look it up for yourself. Nightbot, what are you doing, Nightbot? I need to remove that. I actually don't even use Nightbot for commands. That's an erroneous timer. Please ignore it. I use streamer.bot these days, and that does a pretty good job of, if you're willing to keep up with the learning curve, it does much better on handling user commands and everything. Now, we've gone another full hour. Oh, okay, that's a bot. It has the 100k thing. 100k thing? Let me look at the chat here. I don't know why it has that different color. Yeah, just ignore it. That's a bot, and I've got a new bot, and I have to clear out the old bot. It's gonna take some time. So sorry about the confusion. Now, to get to the part of the shilling that I know everybody doesn't like, but I'm a content creator, so I feel I need to do it. Gotta sell the show somehow. No. It's perfectly okay. It's okay. You're not dumb, I promise. That is a me problem, not a you problem. I will have that cleared up by the next stream, which will be Friday. I've mentioned before, for those that have been here for the full 2 hours already, that I do that liking on YouTube and subscribing on YouTube and following on Twitch are pretty free, easy ways to support the content that I'm doing. If you want to go the extra step of supporting me financially, I have plenty of avenues available for this. For you guys on YouTube, I recommend the Tier 1 subscription. That cuts out all the ads. It allows you double channel point generation, increased buy-in on votes and everything. Great package. Highly recommend it. As for you guys on YouTube or on other platforms, I'm going to recommend Patreon or Coffee instead. For $2, you get practically the same benefits. You just don't get to cut out any ads if there are any. And I say this because I'm not a YouTube partner, and I don't know what that monetization, I don't know anything about their monetization model, but I do want to become YouTube partner at some point. So I'm working really hard to make that happen. Okay, you bought me. I'm subscribing, but I can't pay money. Free subscriptions are totally fine. I want everyone to know that just being here for free is more than enough. The watch hours mean a lot. They really do. I feel if I don't get the shilling done and out of the way, nobody will ever bother to look at those other options, and I do have other content options available if you're on Coffee or Patreon, etc., etc. It's the meta level conversation, right? Nobody likes this type of talk, but I gotta get it out of the way. Much love to everyone. Mwah. We're gonna go ahead and take that second break now, though. It's 3 minutes long. You guys know the spiel. 3 minutes and 3 minutes of commercial ads for people on Twitch. Thanks for everyone's latitude and patience with me, and I will see you after this intermission. Thanks. So sorry about that, my lovely senators and inductees. I am back. Let me go ahead and catch up on chats from both the YouTube and the Twitch side. I don't see anyone on the Twitch side today, so YouTube, hey, welcome to the stream. Pickle Schmickle, welcome on in. Good to see you. Hopefully you are well in health and spirit today. I hope everyone is well in health and spirit today. And I hope you enjoy your stay. I am okay. I just had a small nibble over the course of my break, and now we are ready to continue onward toward defeating and subduing this divine beast. Thank you for asking. I really appreciate it. And what brings you to my lovely abode, my stream? How did you come here, if you don't mind my asking, good sir, madam, or non-binary person? Let's go ahead and switch scenes and get back to it, because we've got a little bit less than 2 hours to get this all figured out. Okay, so we have a switch here, which does what? It's a shortcut. Good. I think that's what that's for, is a shortcut. And is there any sort of... No, this looks like a... Is there anything up here? I need to know for my own curiosity. You saw it and got interested? No problem. So, in other words, the algorithm naturally pointed you toward this channel. Awesome. Awesome. I'm always curious as to how people, find my stream, because YouTube discoverability is basically nil. It's even worse than Twitch discoverability, and Twitch discoverability is basically nil. So, thank you for answering that question honestly. I really do appreciate it. It lets me know that the algorithm isn't entirely skewed against me. What is your level of familiarity with Breath of the Wild, if and you don't mind my asking? Can you say hi? I'm live, Breath of the Wild. Welcome on in, Salzy. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. How are you doing? Hope you enjoy your stay. You love Breath of the Wild. I also like Breath of the Wild, and I think we're at least going to be kindred spirits in that regard. It's not my favorite game of all time, but I do, in fact, enjoy it immensely. Good. How about myself? I am doing okay, Salzy. Thank you for asking. Like I was telling Pickle Schmickle just a second ago, I finished nibbling what I needed to nibble on during break, and we are now in the process of continuing our work to finish up this divine beast. We've got a long way to go, and we've got dwindling time to get it all finished. And hopefully I won't have to make a second namesake episode or thumbnail today. Have I played Tears of the Kingdom yet? No. And unlike Breath of the Wild, where I've played through parts of it, the Tears of the Kingdom would be a true first-time experience. I am looking forward to it, but it kind of depends on what people vote on. This is probably a pretty good time to mention that. So, here on my channels, Swirling Vortex 09 on YouTube and Coinstamp on Twitch, we vote on content here. We've been voting on content for a good little bit now. And what I mean by that is we vote on games to play. Every time I finish a game, like either some part of an installment or we completely finish what we're doing, I put up the next game to a vote. It's on my Discord. Let me go ahead and chill that while I'm here. Twitch and for YouTube. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. You've replayed Breath of the Wild a lot? Gotcha. So Pickle Schmickle is yet another series veteran. That is awesome. I've been getting a good mix of people who are new and people who are old, who are veterans of the series. So thank you for answering that as well. It's amazing what kind of people are attracted to Breath of the Wild gameplay. I appreciate all of the watch time and support. Really, I do. On my Discord, getting back to my earlier point, if people want to see Tears of the Kingdom, when we get finished with Breath of the Wild, and I'll probably, have the vote put up before then, but we'll vote on what that game is. If people really want to see Tears of the Kingdom, make your voice heard, make it known. We do not do voting on YouTube or Twitch directly. All of it takes place in the Discord and is a Discord-derived benefit. So just for following or subscribing, you should be part of the Discord. That's following on Twitch. You're subscribing on YouTube, by the way. The Discord is the best place to go to get all of your, or most of your benefits in the case of YouTube. Trying to think if there's anything else with that. It's a pretty quiet community, but it is something I'm looking to change every day. The Discord process should automatically onboard new users, so you don't even have to worry about having to check in roles unless you just want the extra roles that come in with it. So if you subscribe on Twitch, let's say, there will be a senator role you can go grab in the roles channel and so on and so forth. I have lots of things in there, commands, we have places to post photos, so on and so forth. I work really hard on my Discord, and I hope everyone will enjoy it. But getting back to the game, because that is truly what everybody cares about, how many people have defeated and or subdued Divine Beast Ruta, just out of curiosity? And that is for Twitch and YouTube, of course. As a reminder, we are multi-streaming, so feel free to say hi to the people on Twitch. Just maybe don't expect good cross-lateral conversations to take place. That's all I would say. Me and you about 17 times, so Pickle Schmickle and Salzy have both managed to beat the game, so to speak. Good. Or not the game, I'm sorry, the Divine Beast. Oops. Different question. Different question entirely. Where is this chest at? Or is it still held on top of the water wheel? Hopefully, I'm going to try to do a good job of getting through all the bonus chests as well in today's stream of the Divine Beast. Excuse me. Mouths sometimes sticks together, case in point. So my apologies if my words kind of like stick together sometimes. I need to probably hitch a ride on this somehow. Let's shift the angle a bit and see what happens. Ruta is one of the Divine Beasts I have beaten before, but I do not remember it fully, so I may or may not thumb my way around certain puzzles for a hot minute before I remember how to solve them exactly. Come on, let me get up there and get that treasure chest. Thank you. This should not have been difficult, but it was. Sorry, let me try that again. How did everybody enjoy Ruta when they were going through and completing it? Their first time, or any number of times, really? Would you say that Ruta was an enjoyable experience, or like, meh, not really my cup of tea, blah blah? I know when I beat Ruta my first time, I felt good afterwards, because it was like the puzzles were not all that difficult. Let's see, we should now be... Please tell me that's moving over. Good. Swap over. Just kind of hang on a second. And then we move up to this level. Good. Yeah, unlike Bomb Meadow, where you're going back and forth, here you're kind of going up and down. Do you subscribe? Thank you. I apologize. I don't have any fun alerts or anything for people who subscribe on YouTube. That is something I'm going to try to fix. I don't want noisy alerts, mind you, but I do want to have some kind of fanfare for people on YouTube. And I actually have StreamerBot now, so that is something I think I can do. I'd have to watch a nutty tutorial or something to figure out how to do it, but thank you for the subscription, Pickle Schmickle. I hope you enjoy the content. For those of you on YouTube, in particular, I actually have a separate, separate series on my channel. It is the Dragon Quest Let's Play, so if you like long-form JRPG, CRPG, or ARPG content, I do also make that off to the side, so feel free to check it out. In particular, I recommend episode number 10. That's where I'd start with. In that Let's Play, I still have to go back and refactor the audio in the first episodes, but as soon as I have it refactored, you should be good to go. And then I could recommend the start of the series, because Dragon Quest is not a good game to recommend in media res for anybody. And Dragon Quest 11 is bunches of fun. Whole bunches of fun. I've been enjoying the content creation process for it. In terms of my content style, you are a YouTuber? So do you make your own content, Pickle Schmickle, out of curiosity? And I guess this would also extend to Salzy. I'm just curious. Like, I tend to get other content creators in my, my countenance, my sphere, and I'm curious to see if, other people make content. You make hockey cards? That's pretty cool. I'll have to check out the channel sometime. Even if hockey isn't exactly my cup of tea, I do at least want to see the content myself. Plus, we all kind of have to stick together, right? There's no reason that content creation... Hockey card openings. Ah, okay. So it's kind of like, it's TCG pack opening, but it's for collectible sports cards. Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. We need to shift this down. Those could be fun. Do you generally enjoy the hockey card openings? I assume you wouldn't make the content if you didn't enjoy it, but... How is the hockey card collecting experience? Thank you, Pickle Schmickle. I really do appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed the process of, collecting and opening the hockey card, like, packs. I'm more of a Magic the Gathering enthusiast myself. I just tend to really like the IP, even if I think less of Wizards of the Coast every so often because of it, but since we're talking about hockey cards here, how many cards do you typically get per pack out of curiosity? Now let me climb up this thing. Okay, we want to go, I think we want to tilt it fully up. You don't keep track? That's fair. That is totally fair. Now, I am certainly not a sports enthusiast, but I know my dad sometimes would crack open baseball packs. And I know that's not exactly the same, but I do remember him mentioning it at various points throughout my life. He either really enjoyed the experience or it was sometimes a really depressing experience. I hear the music for a Malice like it should be nearby, but I am not figuring out where the Malice is. You like baseball? My dad also generally likes baseball. I am not much of a sports person. I'm trying to think of sports I actually like watching. Rugby is one of them, although I don't watch rugby a whole bunch. Fencing, archery, that sort of thing. Basically anything that the American, sports media, like, networks don't cater to on a regular basis. And it's not strictly because of the whole American aspect. I'm pointing out that stuff is typically less syndicated. That's all. You're back, and hi, Pickle. Welcome back, Bear Type. Glad you could return to us. Hopefully life has been going well for you, since you had to step away and all. Let's head up top. and get rid of these malice eyeballs. But our ability to skip portions of the Divine Beast is over. What is your favorite Zelda game? Mine is Tears of the Kingdom. Hi, Bear type. I'm glad you asked. Now, I think I might have mentioned it earlier, but I'm gonna mention it again anyway. Plus, no one has actually asked that question directly in like the past week. My favorite Legend of Zelda is Skyward Sword. I love Skyward Sword. I do have a nostalgia bias for it. I grew up with Skyward Sword in my early to late teenager years. I love the motion controls, even if they were ass at select points. I really enjoyed the expansion to the overall story, as limited as it was, and I really enjoy the unique and creative puzzles that come along with Skyward Sword. I love it to death. Is it the best Legend of Zelda game ever? No. Even though even though Skyward Sword is my favorite, I do concede it is not the best Legend of Zelda game out there. But it's near and dear to my own heart. Wow, Skyward, that's a bit unique. You started with Breath of the Wild, Pickle Schmickle says. Did you try the Switch port? Bear type says. I have the Switch port. I also have the OG, Wii version sitting somewhere on my game display off to the right that nobody can see because it's off to the right, not behind me. Yeah, I have 2 copies of the game. And I like both of them. I like the Switch remaster, and I like the original. I like both. I like that you could use Joy-Cons in order to get the motion controls, but I also appreciate that you have the right stick movement option available if you want to be lazy or you don't like motion controls. Both control types are perfectly valid forms of gameplay. Let me make sure I'm not missing chat here. The first one you got into is Breath of the Wild, but you're playing Ocarina of Time now. It's a pretty cool one. Ocarina of Time, I would say, is a cult classic. It's an experience you just need to live through for yourself, so you understand why many other people like it, even if you yourself come to dislike it, right? I kind of like an Ocarina of Time or other cult classic games like that to trying food for the first time, like a food item that's really hyped up, perhaps even overly so, like chili fries or cheese fries. You have to try the experience, live through the experience at least once to understand why people like cheese fries, right? The same is true for cult classic games like Ocarina of Time. Try it once or try it until you beat it, enough to see why people may perhaps like the experience, and like it enough to play randomizers of it, like I do. Let me make sure there's more I wanted to say there. With Ocarina of Time, there's also like a nostalgia bias, right? Just like I admitted nostalgia bias for Skyward Sword, and I really like Skyward Sword in part because of my nostalgia with it. I can also find plenty of legitimate reasons to like it. Ocarina of Time definitely falls into those games that if you have fond memories of it growing up, you will in fact be more likely to enjoy it. Even if you look back on it, even if you replay it as an adult, there's going to be some part of you that has like a soft spot for the game. It's how the human brain works. We seek things that give us dopamine and endorphin rushes. I used to be a STEM major, so oftentimes the things I'll talk about kind of like tangentially brush upon that former aspect of my life. I'm glad you're enjoying Ocarina of Time, though, or at least you're playing through it, though, Bear Trap. Maybe when you get done with that, you'll have a good opportunity to try the, No, let me get back up there. Thank you. That should not have been that difficult. Just want to be able to climb up the outside, game. That's all I'm asking. the Ocarina of Time randomizer, especially the Rob or the real Ruta branch is pretty fun. The Fennel branch can also be pretty fun. Or, you know, just balls to the wall, the combined dev branch is fantastic. These days I play the Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask randomizer in my spare time, but that's just because I like the dopamine rush I get from collecting all the items in one sitting. You're going to play Breath of the Wild? Enjoy, Pickle Schmickle. Enjoy. And if you come back, I'd be interested in hearing what your latest escapades are. Same to anyone who's currently playing Breath of the Wild right now. We can all kind of share in the journey together. The nice thing about this being a revisit and not a first-time experience is that I don't mind facilitating that shared experience.
Rivali's Gale is now ready.
Thank you, Rivali. We love you, Rivali. Based. You are still gonna stay. That's totally fine. I just didn't know which way you were going with that, so I wanted to make sure that if you were like, okay, I'm gonna lurk now while I'm doing this, you have the leeway to do so. By the way, just as a quick aside, I appreciate all my lurkers around here, Twitch, YouTube, otherwise. You guys are the backbone of every stream, and I do my best to make sure I don't call out anyone who is lurking or anything like that. If I accidentally do it, please feel free to let me know, and I'll course correct as soon as possible. Because I want to make a good viewing experience for everybody, whether you choose to talk into here or not. But let me also say that, and I often tell people this, if the conversation comes up, I like to view my streams as not just strictly mine. They're also my audience's streams at the same time. The content is what you put into it as much as it is also what I'm streaming, playing, and saying all at once. It's why we vote on games here. I just try to take a holistic view on streams overall, because whether the streamer or content creator wants to admit it or not, everybody, from the chat to the mods to they themselves, all contribute toward the viewing experience, and I thank everybody for being a part of that and participating in it today. Just getting that PSA out of there. Hello, Diggly Wiggly. I almost flubbed that up big time. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Hopefully you're well in health and in spirit today. I hope you enjoy your stay. What is the best divine beast in your opinion? Hard to say. Mainly because there's still one of them I haven't actually played through yet. And that's Von Naburis. But between all the ones I have played through, I definitely think Va Ruta is one of the better ones. Just because it's not overly obtuse, and you're not having to do an incredible amount of backtracking. And it obviously gets much better if you're able to, say, I don't know, have Rivali's Gale during the entire portion of it. Being able to cleanly skip certain portions of, Va Ruta is nice. I can't say the same about Va Rudania or Va Naburis, especially Va Naburis. It is a revisit, but it is the one divine beast I never managed to complete. The Desert Divine Beast. I hope to change that this time. The revisit was voted on by my patrons and subscribers, so I'm gonna complete this to the end. Everyone can trust in my word on that. What is your favorite Diggly Wiggly? Or what do you think is the best divine beast? Va Meadow is a bit annoying. You and I share in that opinion then. All the back and forth is not the best experience. Okay, I think we've opened that up entirely. Do we need to move it back 2 notches, 4 notches, or more than that? Other than the back and forth, Va Meadow is fine. And Naboris, I guess I get to look forward to either discovering that, or I think we need to move back a lot further than that. I guess I get to discover that together with the rest of you guys. One notch more ought to get this all figured out. Wow, this puzzle is being quite finicky. Okay. Got it. So the boss in particular. Yeah, Thunderblight Ganon, I've never fought against it, but I have seen it being fought against. I could definitely see why a lot of people would find Von Naboris very annoying. Windblight Ganon, I guess, was also kind of annoying in the beginning, too. Just because having to get a foothold to start shooting is tricky. Additionally, one of these divine beasts is always going to be more difficult than the others because it's your first, right? It's the one where you show up with the least amount of good gear, the least amount of supplies, and it's really touch and go. For a lot of people, it's Ruta. For another significant chunk of the player base, it's Meadow. And I pity the person that chose to go for Von Naboris first. I think Von Naboris is definitely the most difficult one, and it's troubling at times. But you think it's the best? Interesting. I look forward to seeing if my opinion changes because of whatever I experience with Von Naboris. You started over in Breath of the Wild? Interesting. How, like, just now or relatively recently? Pickle Schmickle, just so I understand what that sentence is in response to.
There are 2 terminals remaining. You're nearly there.
Just now? Cool. I hope you enjoy that. I hope you enjoy that nostalgic experience all over again. Really, truly, I do. Trying to think. Go ahead and take a drink first. Which I am going to have to go top off eventually, but you're going to Ruta right now? Awesome. Let me know how that goes for you. In the meantime, let's see if we can't... I feel like I'm at that point where I need to figure out where the remaining 2 terminals are. So one's in the very center, and one's on the very tip of the trunk? Not yet, but soon. Yeah, you gotta make your way there first, after all. Maybe jump out here, and maybe we might be able to head up there? Oh, we almost fell in the hole, my senators and inductees. That would not have been fun. Alright, so where's the terminal? Is it up there at right at the very end? I think so. I just like the puzzles in Von Naboris. Fair enough. You like them the best, but they're definitely harder. Then you like Ruta, and then Meadow, and then Rudania is the worst. Hopefully the tutorial goes without incident, Pickle Schmickle. Referring back to Diggly Wiggly here. What do you think about Rudania makes it the worst? At least in your eyes. Honestly, I don't remember much about Rudania. I did complete it in my previous playthrough on Twitch. Of course, that archive has been lost to the ages, but it's got to be like right here. It's like right under here somewhere. It's like Yeah, it's right. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. And you immediately drown too. Cool. I honestly don't remember much about Varudanya. Maybe that's how bad it actually is that my mind has just secretly psycho-locked a part of itself away from that. I see. Oh, we need to do the whole, lift the trunk back up so we can catch it on the backside. Okay. So we need to start the process of moving it up and then do this. And of course, gotta move it back down. Oh, we do this over and over again. Cool. I do remember this one being one of the more tricky, terminals to grab. Maybe we need to land on this and then kind of move around. And then after we get these terminals, we can make sure we don't miss any chests. For those not in the know, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or elsewhere, you only get one crack at the chests in the Divine Beast, so you gotta make that count. Yeah, are you serious right now? Just... Phew. I gotta move it back down. Cool. Thanks, game. I love being flung off at random intervals thanks to, thanks to momentum and physics and everything. Love that for me. Let's go ahead and eat this. How was Meadow? Meadow was fine. I didn't hate, but I kind of disliked the back and forth. But once I was able to sort of like find my bearings, it wasn't too bad. It's definitely not, I would say it's definitely not quite as difficult or tedious as, say, Rudanya, for instance. You don't like Rudanya because you thought the puzzles were boring. It was hard. You don't like the heat of Death Mountain, but you also played it at a younger age. Gotcha. So it would probably be easier now? I would imagine so. That might be an experience worth reliving again, if only once. Playing through moments in games that people find difficult, arduous, or tedious, especially as a young child, I kind of liken that to trying the food you thought you hated from many years ago. For example, I didn't like eggplant as a kid. Did not like it. As a teenager and young college student, I still didn't like it. I had eggplant maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I don't hate it, but I'm not necessarily in love with it either. You never know how you're going to process the experiences you thought you knew until you do it again. Eating food is a constant journey, and experiencing old games all over again is kind of just like that. You've replayed Breath of the Wild probably more than 50 times. Wow. That is a lot of replays. I'm trying to think of a game I might have replayed that many times. Dark Souls 3 would be a game I've played over many, many times, and I don't even think I've played it over 50 times. No, yes I have. I take that back. I have replayed it more than 50 times because I used to be a challenge runner for Dark Souls 3, and I remember, beating, the Lord of Cinders many, many times, both before and after all the DLCs when I was challenge running. You love Breath of the Wild? I'm glad you do. We all have to have things in this world that we enjoy. Maybe I will grow to love Breath of the Wild more than I already enjoy playing it. This time, thanks to the revisit and everything. Okay, Keep me up here this time, game. That's all I'm literally asking. I'm just asking not to get absolutely screwed over by physics. Are you serious? Just... I feel like I'm playing a Mario 64 Chaos Edition game right now, where I'm just getting shunted to the left all the time.
Just one terminal remaining. I have faith in you.
If there's any gaming experience I think people should also experience at least once, it's a good old-fashioned Chaos Edition. Just not having full control over your gaming experience is an experience unto itself. If you want to know a person to check out who's had the Chaos Edition experience, I recommend Peanut Butter Gamer. They did a Mario 64 Chaos Editions, like, Let's Play. I believe there was a special on the actual main channel, and then I want to say there's a full-blown series of it on the streaming channel. I recommend both of those. If you want to watch a man's, like, slow descent into the abyss, and then to rise from the ashes of that abyss, oh, there's no other experience quite like it. I really do recommend it. You'll get a good amount of laughs out of it, guaranteed. Now, the last one was, it's rotating on one of the water wheels. Make sure I'm not missing chat here. You love Breath of the Wild? Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom? Sorry, is that in reference to a statement, Diggly Wiggly, or is that posed to is that not posed? Sorry, I guess I'm just trying to understand why that was repeated twice. Gotcha. Okay, which one do I like more? Don't know. I've never played Tears of the Kingdom. I have watched people play Tears of the Kingdom. I have watched people glitch out Tears of the Kingdom, but I've never played, so I couldn't tell you. Maybe if people vote for that? Yes, I know, weird, right? Also, I don't have a copy of it. My sibling has a copy of it. So if people really want to see Tears of the Kingdom, they're going to need to vote for it when we get ready to vote on the next game. And I will be more than happy to play it. And then my sibling and I will have to coordinate about the cartridge and everything. When am I live next? Going back to Pickle Schmickle? I'm glad you asked. I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the next time I'll be live is Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do sometimes stream on weekends. Sometimes I don't. If you want to know the exact schedule, I recommend looking in the description of the stream. For the streaming schedule, it should be a whole separate link and everything. It's a Google Calendar link. I update that pretty religiously, and that is the best way to keep up with my streams. And unless something comes up that I really need to change the schedule for, it's pretty consistent too, all things considered. 12 p.m. for you? Ah, so you are not quite in the central U.S. time zone. Okay, that makes sense. Well, then at least the schedule should be mostly accurate, then. Just, upshift the times by about an hour and you've got it. Make sure I'm not missing chat again. And then we'll keep moving. Tears of the Kingdom is the best, Diggly Wiggly says. I'll have to take your word for it until I play it. And again, the voting for the games is done on my Discord server. That is the only place we do the voting, so when we get ready to have those votes, which will probably be... I'd say when we start gearing up to do the second DLC is when I would expect to put a vote like that out. That's going to be on the Discord. It is me and you for now. Fair enough. What can I say? Thank you for letting me know that, Pickle Schmickle. I do intend on playing Tears of the Kingdom as just voting on content's a part of the shtick of the channel. We all gotta have gimmicks, right? And that one's mine. Along with playing modded content. Yeah, I suppose I could mention more about the other kinds of content I typically do. I have talked about the Dragon Quest Let's Play, but my past streams, whenever I had the chance or availability to do so, I try to mod the game in question. A good example of this would be Elden Ring. Dark Souls 3 is another game that I believe I've modded in the past. I like giving back to the modding communities, and I think mods breathe an air of fresh life into games new and old. Skyrim, or heck, even this game, Breath of the Wild, has mods. They're hard to get for Switch, but I mean, they exist, they're here. It's on the small cog. We just have to figure out how to stop it. It's in the second wheel. Hold on. But the map is saying it's in the smaller cog. That probably is the second wheel. Just gotta wait. The cogs don't exactly move the fastest. Yeah, okay. Thought so. I just have to figure out. It's not that one. It is this one. Where on earth? I'm trying to tell if it's on the inside or the outside. Let's freeze the water and see what happens. Like, I know freezing the water is how you stop this particular cogwheel from moving. Oh, it's inside the water wheel. Okay, yep, I see it. Got it. Thanks for the help. Now we just need to freeze it at the right time. Well, stasis will not work on that. That has to be strictly Cryonis. Got it.
You activated all the terminals. Now you can start the main control unit. There should be a new glowing mark on your map. Head there. Be careful not to let your guard down.
Don't worry, Mifa. I will. But first we gotta check the chests. We gotta know that we got everything. So there was one on... There was one rotating here. There was another one on top of those stone platforms. There was one in the water. That metal chest there. What else? There was one on top of the trunk, which we got. There was one... There was one in the room with the ring of circles. You can see Meadow from the plateau. Meadow is quite the view, huh? Intimidating even, but still quite a view. Where else are there chests? I feel like I'm missing one. And I want to be able to do this in like the next 5 minutes so that I can, we can take a break and then just come right into the thick of things with the boss. And I also want to have at least one Rivali's Gale for the boss too, if I can at all help it. Okay, so far there was a chest. There was not a chest over here. This opens up to the trunk, which we already mentioned the chest on. Got the first tower? Nice. Nice. And the first tower being the one in the plateau, right? Like the one you have to get? Gotcha. Yeah, nice work on that. I wonder if people have actually skipped like all the remaining towers for the for like speed runs of the game before, or like especially 100% playthroughs. On an alt account makes sense. Do not fling me off the edge, game. Don't you do it. Okay, I feel like if there were chests to miss, it would be like over here somewhere. We got that one there. Anything off to the sides? Are you serious? Get back up there, Link. You shouldn't have been sliding on a slope, but whatever. Sure. I think we have everything. I'm gonna trust in my heart of hearts that I've done this correctly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna park in front of the main engine room, and we're gonna go from there. We're gonna take our break and then, did I like the entrance? Are you talking about the, you know, the initial cutscene for the game where it's like you come out of the Tomb of Resurrection and, you know, the game gives you its title screen? I have arrived! Hello there, J Gaming Animations. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you are well in health and spirit today. Hope you are doing well. Hope you enjoy your stay. Oh, I'm getting a lot of people on YouTube today. What brings you here? How did you come to discover this place, if you don't mind my asking? And are you familiar with Breath of the Wild? Or the Zelda franchise as a whole, I guess. I'm gonna sit right here until did you like the Divine Beast entrance? I just subbed because small YouTubers, to help small YouTubers? Thank you, J Gaming Animations. I really wish I had an alert for that, but I don't. I'm going to be working on StreamerBot to get something like an alert passed, so that's going to be fun. But thank you so much for the subscription. Please enjoy the benefits that come along with that. As a reminder, my Discord is free to join. It's not pay-gated at all in the slightest, but I mean there are subscriber and or patron/coffee member benefit exclusive channels. I'm gonna go ahead and show this Discord one last time. Please feel free to join or don't. Your choice. I will never force people to do things here on my channel. You know, unless it's violating terms of service, and then you get the boot. But my audience has been incredibly well behaved today, as it always is. Do I like Pauline? Pauline. Would that be the Super Mario Odyssey character, woman in a red dress? She has like a band in, what is it, New Donk City? Is that the Pauline I'm thinking of? The OG, damsel in distress? The Super Mario Odyssey version's okay. I don't know if I have a strict preference for Pauline. I like her about as much as I like Peach, and that is to say, I like them about the same amount, and I generally like Peach. Sorry, long-winded answer. Yeah, I do, but it's not like, she's not like my favorite character or anything, if that makes sense. I just generally like her. Why ask? And while you're supplying the reasons for that question, I am going to go ahead and take my last break for the stream. You guys know the spiel? Oh. So the Stream Elements feed notified me of a subscription, but not anything else. Interesting. Okay, like I was saying before, I take 3-minute breaks here on the stream about every hour. I'm a little bit overdue to take that break. I hate running these breaks. You're about to cause a major discussion in the chat. Rivali is the best champion. I will reply to that after coming back from break, because I don't disagree with you on some portion of that, but I definitely do have a character bias for why I might say one way or the other who my favorite is. Anyway, it is break time. I wouldn't do this if I didn't have pre-roll to run, but I gotta do it for people on Twitch, so that we don't have pre-roll to worry about. Thank you to everybody for coming in and hanging out with me. You guys have been the best. This has been a really good day today, and you guys have truly made it out of this world. And with that said, we're gonna take that break, and I will see you guys in 3 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. I am back. Hopefully I wasn't gone too terribly long. Let me catch back up on chat here. Oh no, it happened again, didn't it? People are trying to type in the commands. I'm sorry, guys. I use a different bot, not Nightbot. Please ignore Nightbot. let me give you an example of the commands that are used. I'll be getting rid of the Nightbot timer. I thought in all seriousness that I had already shut it off, but apparently for whatever reason, that didn't happen. So... Yeah, but for YouTube, you guys do use asterisks for your commands, unlike Twitch, which uses exclamation marks for their commands. But I will fix that after today. I didn't realize that Nightbot was going to continue to cause problems. So sorry about that, guys. Let me go and make sure I've caught up everywhere else in chat. So, a major discussion in the chat. Rivali is the best champion. Now, I'm curious as to why you say this. Let me get back to who that was. J Gaming Animations. I personally like Mifa, but I think it's just because I'm a kind of a trad when it comes to people. I like traditionally calming, soothing individuals. I'm not. Rivali can be bit snobbish at times. Now, I think Rivali has the best voice lines, period. Like, out of all the champions, I think he has the best ones. So if we're going to talk about voice work, yeah, sure, I'll cede the floor. But just for me personally, Mifa is my favorite. I like people who are calm, collected, and like emotionally savvy, because I am not an emotionally savvy person. I might be calm, I might be collected, but I prefer logic and reason over emotions, generally speaking. More than perhaps the average person does. Now, are we ready? Are we ready, my senators and inductees? Because this is another time where I'm going to whip out this lovely command. I'm going to be fighting a boss. Once Water Blight is started, I am not going to be able to focus nearly as much on chat, so I want to make sure that we've gotten all the talking we want to get done. Just going to scan through the chat for a minute. You good? Okay. Yeah, I'm good as far as I know. I think we are all ready to go. So I will acknowledge first-time chats or people that are relatively new. It's like the highs and hellos, things like that. But once we start fighting this Water Blight, I'm not gonna be able to focus super hard on chat. So just throwing that out there, making sure people are aware. Seems like everyone is all good to go, so let's get this party started. Do I have amiibos? No, I do not. We do have a cutscene, so I can still talk for a couple of seconds. Not even a single amiibo, as a matter of fact. I don't, like, avoid purchasing them out of principle or anything, just I don't have any. Good luck? Thank you. With any luck, though, this shouldn't take too long.
Please take care. That thing is one of Ganon's creations. I put up as much of a fight as I could, but it proved to be my demise 100 years away.
Thank you, Mifa.
Regardless, I believe that you are well prepared for this moment. I have faith in you. Careful.
Okay, we're gonna want the Lionel bow for this one, and regular arrows ought to be sufficient. Okay, you're gonna move somewhere else. That's phase one. Really, dude? Really? He's not draped over this anyway where I could actually attack him.
Now it's your chance.
Goodbye. Not too terrible. Bomb Meadow was, I'm sorry, the Wind Blight Cannon was a bit harder. But I think that's only because we actually did the Wind Blight Cannon and that Divine Beast first. But with the death of Water Blight Cannon, you can whistle run. Everyone has told me about that. I am aware it can do it, but it is quite inconvenient to pull off on a Pro controller. I hear it's a lot easier on Joy-Cons. I have tried, though. It's not easy with my current controller configuration. I have to kind of like claw grip it. And with that, my senators and inductees, we are half of the way toward being able to pull out the Master Sword, which is one of the reasons why, you know, we now that we have 2 stamina wheels, we can actually go out of our way to get the rest of the needed hearts between all the shrines and everything. Is there a cutscene incoming? Don't think there will be once I touch this. I feel pretty confident that I have found everything. There should be, what, 6 chests? We found 3 or 4 of them in, like, the main room. And there were 2 on the outside. Yes, we should have all 6. I feel 99% confident that we're good to go here. You're on a Nintendo controller, Pro controller, right? Or are you on the Joy-Con controller, or are you using like twin Joy-Cons? Because I know there are a variety of ways you can play the game with many of the different control schemes. Once you activate the main control unit, you will not be able to re-enter the interior of this divine beast. Do you still wish to activate it? Yes, game, I'm good. Alright, gonna wink out the camera now.
Hello, Link. Because
Hello,
of your
Mipha.
courage, my spirit is now free. And Ruta as well. Thank you. For I am now allowed by this freedom to be with you once again. Since I am now a spirit, my healing power would be wasted on me. I have no need of it. So therefore, I would like you to have it. Please accept Mipha's grace. Yesterday, I was awash in a pool of tears. I had nearly given up hope and resigned myself to being trapped here as a spirit for the rest of eternity. But now you're here. All this time, my hope was to see you once more. Promise me that you will not hesitate to call upon my power if you ever find yourself in need. Knowing that will let my spirit rest in peace. I must go. Ruta and I have our roles to fulfill. We are both honored to be able to play the role of support. We'll annihilate Ganon together. Farewell. Save her, Link. Save the princess. Save Princess Zelda.
Okay, taking a second to be able to catch back up on chat. It says power A. I think I got it. I think power A would imply the Joy-Con controller, right? Basically, the difference between the Pro controller and like the Joy-Con controllers that you gotta slot in the Joy-Cons to be able to use it, whereas the Pro controller just comes with all of its buttons already attached. I don't know. Fair enough. Not trying to press you for answers, Pickle Schmickle. Just thought I'd ask. Oh, a Pro controller. Okay, then you've got the same configuration I do. Interesting. Yeah, I can whistle run, but I do have to, like, claw grip the controller. There is no other way I'm able to do it. I could probably... Actually, I'm pretty sure you can't even adjust the configuration. The most you do is get a notice of where the controls are with this game. I'm always open to opportunities to learning something new. If there's like a relatively easy way to whistle run, I'll take it, but otherwise, I'm not gonna say I haven't tried either. You like Mipha? Me too. Mipha is my personal favorite. And you know what? I want to make sure I'm not interrupting something.
We found a way to be useful to Link, and the other champions, of course. Our job will be to help Link as he fights Ganon inside the castle, however we can. Using your ability to drain Ganon of his power is key to our success. This is it. This will be our last chance, and everyone's last hope. If we seal him away, then we can restore peace to Hyrule. And both your duty and mine will be fulfilled. Father, are you well, I wonder? I want you to know I have always followed my heart. I'm sorry I made you worry. I wish I could see you again. happen just once more.
I just want to make sure I'm not talking over the dialogue. I wink out my camera for a reason. I don't want anything to detract from that experience. What was I saying? Mifa and Daruk, right? I presume that's what you meant. Yeah, I like Mifa and Daruk both. Mifa's Grace, a restorative power born from the spirit of the champion Mifa. When your hearts run out, you'll automatically be resurrected with full health plus temporary bonus hearts. It's simultaneously the best and the worst divine beast or champion power. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. It's simultaneously the best and the worst. If it's best during progression content, it is bad during normal gameplay. Any kind of auto-resurrection usually falls pretty squarely in the best and worst categories simultaneously. This one pretty cleanly falls in both camps, actually. It is nice to have, though. Don't let my notice about, oh, it's not good for normal gameplay. It's a fine power to have. Don't let my words dissuade people from making good use of it. It's just, you can't control when you use it. That's all. That's the thing I think that really holds back Mifa's Grace. But, meh. Can't have our cake and eat it, too. Can't have our cake and eat it all the time. Going back to the chat, making sure I don't miss everything. 2 of the champions are nice to Link and Zelda. I'd like to think so. I like Mifa, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this in the comments, but given the lore surrounding the Zora armor, because Zora princesses make them for their betrothed, right? I think we all can pretty readily agree Link and Mifa would have been married to each other, which I think would have been absolutely delightful. It's why I don't mind when people, make fan art of Link and Sidon together. Whatever, not a big deal. But you're not gonna see me jumping on the Link Sidon ship bandwagon. That's just not my cup of tea. I prefer the ship that the game actually sets out. Link and Mifa were an item. Link and Zelda will probably be the new item in Tears of the Kingdom when I get ready to experience it. That's just based on, I don't think of that. Sidon and Link. If you're familiar with Rule 34, you know where I'm going with this, but I'm choosing to playfully tap dance around this. People can ship whoever they like. That's fine. I begrudge no one for that. But since we're discussing my personal taste here, I am not part of that ship bandwagon. My sibling is, which is what makes this all the more of a thorny discussion about it, but I am not. I just think people, want to do Rule 34 things entirely too much. You have seen memes about that. Oh, they're plastered all over the place if you know where to look. And between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, there's both normal memes and there's Rule 34 memes, Rule 34 art, fan art, fan fiction. The content surrounding Link and Sidon is endless. And I do like Sidon. I like him as a character. I really don't want to subtract or take away from people's enjoyment of that ship. But, Japan is a moderately socially conservative place. The level of shipping that, random foreign people do to their games is out of this world. Absolutely out of this world. And Japanese people, or I shouldn't say Japanese people. What I should say is, you would be surprised at the level or amount of somewhat socially conservative views sit at the top of game development companies in Japan, such as although they might skirt around and play around with the idea of LGBT-friendly ships, unless there's a Japanese company that just straight up puts the ship in the game as a legitimate thing, you're never going to see it in anything more as like a suggestion. Dragon Quest games are... the Dragon Quest XI series is a very good series? The Dragon Quest XI game is a really good example of this, where the main... one of the
scale is now ready.
companions that can be in your party, his name is Sylvando, and his Japanese name can be transcribed as Sylvia in some cases. Even with feminine men like Sylvando, who are heavily, like, bi-coded, meaning they like both men and women. I promise I'll get to your statement in just a second. I really do. I just want to finish my thought first, Pickle Schmickle. Even with characters who are heavily coded to be LGBT friendly in Japanese games, oftentimes no matter how well it's done up, they'll never actually cross that border of, oh, they're officially LGBT. It's always, it's the idea of the manly woman or the feminine man. That's about as close to being LGBT friendly as you're ever gonna get. For better or for worse, that's just how Japanese culture is. Or especially in the gaming space. Have you seen someone play Zora's Domain in Tears of the Kingdom? I have not. Mainly the things that I tend to end up watching have to do with like Zonai devices or like the fusion mechanic. One of those two things, generally speaking.
Hi!
Good morning.
Oh.
Hylian, have you seen? The rain that has been falling ever since Divine Beast Ruta was angered has finally stopped. Was that you and Prince Sidon? Yeah, it sure was. Good morning. You're in my way. Do you need something? Who's the pack of geezers? The Zora Elders intend for our people to stop Ruta without any outside help, even though touching shock arrows for an extended period of time is impossible for us. Prince Sidon, on the other hand, had the idea that we could ask an outsider to shoot the shock arrows for us. That's our Prince Sidon for you. He has such bold ideas. Speaking of which, the bad weather seems to have calmed down a bit lately. Is it possible that Prince Sidon finally appeased Ruta? Do you have any more questions? Ruta? By Ruta, I mean Divine Beast Ruta in the East Reservoir Lake. Speaking of which, the bad weather seems to have calmed down a bit lately. Is it possible that Prince... yep, wait, this is the same dialogue. Farewell. Let's talk with all the old fogies. Because they were our detractors, our naysayers. Hey. Oh, you're that guy from Inogo Bridge. Did you see it? The sky. It's finally sunny again. Ruta's water assault has stopped. Yes, I was there. I lived it. Lito, why are you... Wait, is this where I'm gonna find out? Oh my god, they trance like elves in their sleep. They are water elves, my senators and inductees. They live to be over 200 years old. They sleep by meditating or otherwise just by sleeping in water or some other medium. It's fantastic. They're totally not sea elves, everybody. Off of your alt, Lady Mifa, I, Segan, shall avenge you. Hello, Franck. Divine Beast Ruta. This is all that monster's fault. Or, no, I suppose it is all my own fault. Why? Why are you blaming yourself? Your face sickens me. I am sickened. Get out of my sight. Now. I guess that'll be part 2 of this campaign. Figuring out how to ease these old fogies. Get them to play along with us. Okay, the elders sometimes have the same dialogue, it looks like.
Hi.
Good morning. Link, the rain has stopped. Does this mean that Ruta has stopped as well? I'd like to think so. I guess we still need to talk to King Dorfin about all this. Link, Link, you did well to survive your trial. I have been awaiting your return. The violent downpour has disappeared, as has the threat to Zora's domain. It is all little more than a bad dream now. Thanks to your efforts, there is no longer any danger of a great flood laying waste to Hyrule. You appeased the divine beast Varuta and thusly saved Zora's domain. We are all truly grateful, for what you did for us is more than we could have ever expected of you. Link, I must sincerely apologize for my harsh treatment of you. That whole time you were thinking of Hyrule and Lady Mipha's well-being, just like the rest of us. All of the members of our council humbly fold our fins back in gratitude, along with the rest of our people. Perhaps the older generation of Zora, myself included, misunderstood Hylians after all. It would seem so. That said, I would be overjoyed if you could find it in your heart to forgive me. If not now, then perhaps one day. Link, I must reward your efforts. Now then, I implore you to collect the treasure chest, the treasure inside that chest over there. It was cherished by Mipha, a memento of sorts. I would like you to have it as a token of our friendship. Please take good care of it. By the way, Link, I see that you are without your trusty blade, the sword that seals the darkness. Did you perhaps lose it when you lost your memory? Perhaps. What? Is it truly lost? That is a legendary blade that only you, the Hylian champion, can wield. It undoubtedly found a safe place to wait for you, sleeping soundly just like its master. Link, of all of the Zora, thank you from the depths of our hearts for your heroic and selfless work. And you too, Sidon. As your father, I am proud of you for fighting the divine beast alongside Link. You have grown much recently. I know you will be a worthy heir when your time comes. Father, I thank you. The heavy rains have stopped, and the divine beast is our ally once again. How glorious, truly splendid. Link, this is wonderful. There's that politician's smile. Link, thank you so much. Truly, I could never thank you. I'm trying to finish the DLC. Which one? 1 or 2? The Master Sword one or the Champion's Ballad DLC? You helped save our home from vanishing away. Both? Fair enough. This calls for a top-tier expression of gratitude. I'm not going to read that chant. With all my heart, thank you. I'm happy. My day is complete. I could end the stream right here and be happy. But we're gonna, take a look in this chest to make sure there isn't anything obstructing us from collecting the item inside. Da-da-da-da! A spear of peerless grace cherished by the Zora champion Mipha. Although Mipha specialized in healing abilities, her spearmanship was in a class all its own. I will happily take that trident, thank you. We actually need a copy of it to complete some of the side quests around here. Chat, my fellow, you're at Zora Domain on your normal account? Awesome. I'm glad that you're there on the normal account. Hopefully, Zora's Domain is treating you well. I got a question for you guys. Twitch, YouTube, etc. How mad would you be? How upset? Be honest with me. If I ended the stream early today. Normally, I go for about 4 hours, so it'd be another 23 minutes normally before I end the stream, but I've been doing a gut check this past hour, and I could really use some grub. I'm quite hungry. I have not eaten anything today. Additionally, I think we've ended on a really good note if we stop right here. We have these nice vibes to ride out the rest of the day on. I don't know? Or is that meant to be an I don't care? Just want to make sure I've clarified everything. Oh, the tea is helping, but I do need some food. I don't know, because I found you? Fair enough. Then I guess I will be making an executive decision to end the stream early, because again, I need to eat. It's pretty close to dinner time where I am right now. It's about 4:30, and sometimes I eat as early as 4, and other times I eat as late as like 7. So I am going to end early today. I really want to thank everybody so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Don't forget, if you haven't followed or subscribed on YouTube and or Twitch, please do that so that you don't miss the content or you don't miss future streams. Even if you never look at the calendar, you know, at the very least, you'll get the notices for going live. And thanks, Pickle Schmickle. Have a good rest of your day, too. And I hope it treats you well. You two, doing a quick check for number of people in chat on Twitch. I am going to go ahead and cut and run today. But before I cut and run, in an effort to get Twitch and YouTube on the same page, I am going to go ahead and recommend 2 streamers today. That's usually what I'd like to do before I, you know, call it a quits myself. First one I'm going to recommend, and I'll probably be hanging out over there actually, will be Monkey Funk 4D. He's a good Twitch associate of mine. He does a lot of different content just like I do, but he goes about it in a somewhat different way. He's a super relaxing Canadian streamer. Please go check him out. As for the other person, I'm actually going to shout out an old viewer of mine who has been streaming pretty regularly lately. He's mainly a music creator, or like a musician, dubstep, electronica, that type of thing. Go check out APOC D&B. Pretty sure that's dub and bass. So I guess he also doubles as a DJ. So if you like DJing, you like electronic content, electronic music, check him out. I will be in one of those 2 spots after the stream is over. Thank you guys again. Today has been really nice. I'm really glad that people on YouTube have found us. I look forward to seeing more of everyone on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It gives me time to kind of like look into, you know, where I want to start with the Korok seeds anyway. So it's kind of good that we've ended things off here. My name is Coin, Senators and Inductees. This has been another episode of Breath of the Wild, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, 100% full completion, a live Let's Play walkthrough, and I look forward to being able to share this game with everybody so that we all can enjoy it, whether by watching or by playing. Take care of yourselves, my senators and inductees. Do stay safe out there. And with that, goodbye.